Thank you, kisses. I love you. Thank you for helping. Love you, boo. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my summer foundation routine, and this is basically one of those go-to looks that I pull out in the summertime that I have been wearing for so many summer events. So if I want to look a little bit more glam and if I want to wear foundation during the summertime, this is the look that I usually go for in terms of like my face routine, and then usually I'll do the same eye look with, you know, just some eyelashes to make it really simple during the summer. So it's kind of like my summer everyday glam look. Usually in the summer I don't love wearing foundation, and I do have another look that I want to do for you guys, like my no makeup look, because that's a look that I constantly wear during the summer when I don't feel like wearing foundation. But for those of you who like wearing foundation or you just want to see my summer foundation routine, then this is the video for you. I do have a winter / fall foundation routine that I will link in the description box down below if you guys want to check that out as well. One of the first things that is important is that you're properly priming and hydrating your skin before you put on your bases or your foundations or anything like that. Now during the summertime, if you're not using a foundation that has SPF, but I strongly encourage you guys to use a foundation with SPF, but for whatever reason, if you're using a different type of foundation that has no sun protection, it's really important that you put some sun protection on your skin as a base. So for me, the sun protection I use when I'm not using a foundation with SPF is the Josie Maran Argan Daily Moisturizer, and this has an SPF of 47 in it. This is my moisturizer that I constantly wear during the summer, so if I'm not wearing a foundation with SPF, it's okay because I did cover my skin with this before I put on the foundation. Today I'm going to be using the MAC Studio Water Weight Foundation, and this has an SPF of 30. So I actually did not put on this moisturizer today because I knew my foundation had SPF in it. So for example, one of my other favorite foundations to use is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi, and this has SPF of 20. But say I was using something like my Sephora 10-hour wear foundation, then for sure I would put this SPF moisturizer on first, and then I would go in with this foundation. Like I mentioned before, I'm going to be using this MAC foundation. Some of my other summertime favorite foundations is definitely the True Match Lumi. I use this foundation all year round. It's one of my go-tos. And I also really like the NARS Sheer Glow, also an all year round foundation that I really love, but especially during the summertime for that extra glow. I just went in and I put the Kate Somerville serum all over my face because I'm not going to be using the SPF moisturizer today, but if you put on that moisturizer, you're good to go. So before I go in with anything else, I want to just make sure my skin is nicely hydrated and ready to go. And even though I put on the serum, it doesn't help to add a little bit of extra moisture when you are doing your foundation, because the more hydrated your skin, the better your foundation will look. So I'm going to go in with my MAC Fix Plus, and I'm just going to spray that all over my skin. And if you want, you could just take your beauty blender and tap that in. You don't need to be so excessive with the amount of spray that you put on like me. I just love this stuff, and it smells so good. If you have ever tried this, you will know that it smells so good. During the summertime, like most people, I love the way my skin looks because I have a bit of a tan, but the problem with the summertime is that it really brings to light the areas of darkness that I have. So if you are someone who is similar to my skin tone, or maybe even a little bit darker or lighter, you'll notice that you have areas of darkness that seem to come up a lot more during the summertime. So for me, those areas are around my eyes, around my nose right here, and around my lip area. Now that's just a pigmentation thing. It's a natural thing, especially with women of color. You have nothing to feel like ashamed of or nothing to feel bad about, but you just want to make sure that you're properly combating that before you go in with foundation. If I went in with foundation right now, it would look great underneath those areas, but everywhere else that it's not dark, it would look perfect. Just want to go in first and give your face a really beautiful clean slate before you go in with the foundation. So before I go in, I'm going to color correct my skin. You guys have heard me talk about this so many times, and my two favorite color correctors are the LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is just in the color orange, I believe, or the corrector that I use all the time, which is my all-time favorite, is the MAC Prep and Prime Highlighter in the color Peach Luster. They're both exactly the same. This one's a bit more orange and a bit more intense, but they both work the same. It'll work for you if you have areas of darkness, areas of darker pigmentation. These are the things that you want to be using. So I constantly use my MAC Prep and Prime Highlighter, so I'm going to use the LA Girl today just to add something different. As you can see, this is the applicator right here. They both have very similar applicators, and I'm just going to, oop, that was a little too much, but I'm just going to spread that in areas where I have darkness. And as you can see, I'm not doing something like where I would take a concealer and highlight my whole face. You do not want to do that. It's going to look really bad if you do that. You just want to focus on areas where you have the darkness. If I were to put this on my cheek right now, it would just look orange, and when I put my foundation on top, it would not look like it's an even skin tone. It'll look like I have orange peeking through. So you just want to focus this on areas where you have the darkness, because then it'll do its work in combating that darkness. Now I put way too much. Oh, I hate when I waste product. It's like really bothers me that I wasted this much product. You do not need this much. I just got way too excited and pressed this a little bit too hard. Don't forget to bring it up in your inner corner here. That is definitely an area that needs to be highlighted for women of color. So now, if you make a mistake like me and you look like this, and you're like, crap, how am I going to get rid of all this product? Have no fear, the Beauty Blender is here. So the Beauty Blender is a great product to have, not just for your summertime foundation, but for all year round when you're doing any type of liquid or cream product. This is the type of sponge that you want to be blending out those products with. So I have two that I love. This is the Beauty Blender, the original OG Beauty Blender, and this is the Real Technique sponge. And as you can see, this one has two different types of designs to it. It has a flat side, which I like using for my foundation, and then it has the pointy side, which I like using for my concealer. Now the great thing about these sponges is if you apply too much product, it just knows it's too much product, and it will absorb the extra product. It's like so smart like that. It has a brain. So it picks up any of the excess product, so you don't need to worry that you're gonna have cake face or anything like that. So I'm gonna use my Real Techniques face sponge, and I'm just going to start patting. As you can see, you do not need this much. This is way too much, but I'm just gonna go in and blend that out, just making sure to keep it in areas where I have the darkness. It's like in my waterline. This is so weird. Okay, this got really bad really fast because it's going everywhere. Oh my god. Look at that. Oh my god. Okay guys, so I applied way too much product because I was just talking and got too excited. So it's not supposed to look this intense. I look crazy. Like this is, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I look like this. But it's not supposed to be this much product. It's supposed to be in areas where it's dark. So like you wouldn't have it up here. But obviously I'm going to take a clean beauty blender and I'm just going to try to blend that out. And we'll see. We'll still make this work, but just don't be like me and add too much product, okay? So now, going into the foundation. Can you guys take me seriously with my face looking like this? Because I'm looking in the viewfinder and I'm like, oh my god. Anyway, so I'm going to take my foundation. This is the Studio Fix Water Weight Foundation. And as I mentioned in so many of my tutorials, I hate wearing foundation during the summertime because I feel like it can get very sweaty and I just want my skin to breathe. But if you are going to wear any foundation during the summertime, this is the foundation you want to wear during the summertime. So light, so fresh, so perfect. It lets your skin breathe, but it still gives you that little bit of protection that you need. So I'm actually going to mix this because I want to have like a really nice bronzy glow. So I'm going to mix this with my Laura Mercier Radiance Bronze Primer. And even though it's a primer, I'm still going to mix it in because I want to have that really beautiful bronzer effect all over my skin. It's going to give me this really beautiful glow all over my face. So I'm going to take some of the foundation, I'm going to put some on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to take some of the Radiance Bronze, pour some of that in, and then I'm just going to mix that with my finger. As you can see, it's extremely liquid, this foundation. And I'm going to start placing that on my skin. And I'll just start blending that out with my beauty blender. And as you can see, when you're applying your foundation, you want to tap, 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 pounce the foundation into your skin rather than swiping. Because I used that bronzing primer, it gives my skin this really nice glow, and I haven't even gone in with bronzer or any highlight yet. If you didn't have that primer, you can definitely go in with any type of highlighter. Some of my favorite liquid highlighters to use is like the Born to Go Liquid Illuminator. This is in the color Gleam. I'll mix this in with foundation. I mix the Smashbox Halo One with foundation. I mix the Benefit Sunbeam with foundation. So any type of liquid highlighter would totally work instead of that primer. Right now, my favorite concealer to use is the NARS Creamy Concealer in the color Caramel. I really love this one because it's so easy to blend and it's so just creamy and buttery, and it's literally just like the easiest thing to blend. Another one that I really like is my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the color NW35. I'm gonna take some, I'm gonna just hit my lids a little bit. I'm gonna try not to be heavy-handed like I was with my corrector. And I'm gonna start mapping out everywhere where I want that highlight. I know it looks like I'm putting a lot of concealer, but I'm really shearing it out. Like I'm taking a little bit on the brush and trying to make it go everywhere it needs to go, just because I don't want a lot of concealer, but I still want that highlight. So as you can see, it's like a really thin layer. It looks like a lot, but it's a very, very thin layer. It is not thick at all. And whatever's left on the wand, I'll just take and apply to the lower part of my face. And as you can see, I'm not very neat about it. Like I just literally place it on the lower part just to add some highlight to that area. But I don't make it a big deal and try to get it precise or anything like that. So I'm gonna go back in with my beauty blender and just start to blend that out. Tip for you guys is I'm making sure to really work highlighter and even before when I was applying corrector into the inner corner of my eye. It's really important that even there looks really awake and bright because it really affects how tired you look or if you look dark, especially in that inner corner area. So you wanna make sure that you're getting all over the eyelid area so it looks very bright and awake. Tapping, not swiping, just pounce, pounce, pounce. So far, like even though I've added the concealer, the skin still looks very fresh, very dewy, very hydrated, and that's because we are going in with products that are so hydrating, and plus we use that really nice primer which helps to give us that really beautiful bronzy glow. So now that everything's blended out, I'm gonna go in with a liquid highlighter. Now the reason I'm not setting my concealer before I go in with the liquid highlighter is because whenever you're working with creams and liquids, you always want to do that before you apply any type of powder. If you put it on top of a powder, it will not sit as nice on your skin and it just won't look as good. So anytime you're doing your makeup, just make sure you're doing your creams and your liquids and your mousses and all of that first before you go in with powders to set everything. Especially during the summer months, I love using cream and liquid products because I feel like it sits so much better on the skin. Powders can sometimes sit on top of your skin and the creams and the liquids really work into your skin, and I don't know, it just works with the weather and it gives you this really beautiful glow and really beautiful look. So I'm all about layering in the summer, layering my creams and my liquids first and then going into my powders just to give it that extra setting protection that it needs. So today I'm going to use my Benefit Sunbeam little liquid highlighter here. It's this really beautiful champagne gold color, which you can see right here, and I'm going to place some on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to take my ring finger and I'm going to start patting that areas where I want that really nice highlight. So definitely hitting the tops of my cheekbones first, really working that onto my skin. And I like using my finger for this because I feel like it really warms up the product and it helps the product melt into your skin so it looks a lot more natural. I'm going to take some of this as well, and I'm just going to hit the tops of the underneath my brows because that is going to really give me a nice glow when the sun hits my face. I'm going to take some down the bridge of my nose. And the great thing about this is you can go as heavy as you want with this. You can go as light as you want with this. It's all personal preference. And look at already, you can see my skin looks a lot brighter and a lot more intense just by adding this onto the skin. I'm going to apply some on my Cupid's bow and on my chin because I just want to even out the highlight on my face. I don't want it to look very highlighted here and then very dark here. So that's why you want to just make sure the center of your face is nice and even and highlighted. So now that's done, I'm going to go in and I'm going to set my concealer. Powder that I love to use is this one right here. This is the Translucent Crystal Light Reflecting Setting Powder, and it's in the pressed form by NARS. So I like to take this powder, and the reason I like using this over like my Ben Nye Banana Powder, which I use in every single one of my tutorials, is because when I use my Ben Nye Banana Powder, it's a beautiful powder and it gives me a really beautiful highlight because of the yellow color, but it can also make my skin a lot more matte, and I want to keep my skin really fresh and really light. I don't want heavy products at all on my skin. Everything I'm using is very light, very airy, and even when I use this powder, I'm just using a really fluffy brush like this. It's a little bit dense, but it's also a little bit fluffy, and I'm going to lightly set everything. Nothing too intense. So I'm just dipping my Real Techniques powder brush into the powder. Once I get enough onto the brush, I'm just going to take it and I'm going to start just setting areas where I wouldn't want creasing. So on my eyelids, definitely going to do underneath my eye area. Basically anywhere that you applied that concealer. I'm just going to take my beauty blender and I'm just going to kind of pat everything. I really like doing this step in between layers of my face, like in between bronzer and blush and any type of layer that I add to my face, because I feel Like it really makes the makeup melt together, which makes it look a lot more natural. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna bronze up the skin, but before we do that, I'm going to contour my skin. Now this step is totally optional. You don't need to contour your skin. I personally have put on a lot of weight since I've gotten married, and that's why I'm contouring my skin. Just because I look a little bit fuller in my face, I have put on weight and I need to kind of slim my face back down. If I was the weight that I was when I got married 2 months ago, I would not be doing this step. So it really is about preference. It's about how comfortable you feel with the natural contours of your face. I definitely feel like I need it, and I always love looking contoured, so that's why I'm putting this step in. I'm using a foundation stick rather than a powder because it's going to melt into my skin a lot better, making it look a lot more natural. So I'm going to pick up the Bobbi Brown foundation stick in the color Espresso, and I'm picking that up on a Sephora Airbrush Concealer. This is the number 57 brush. Once I've loaded up my brush with that, I'm going to start just mapping out where I want the contour to be. And I'm not going to take the contour too far. I'm just placing it on the high points of my contour right here, like in between my cheekbone area. And usually you can bring it a little bit further, but I'm going to stop here because when I blend, it will naturally come in a little bit more. So I'll show you again on the other side. So I'm just taking from the top of my ear down, and I'm stopping about before even my eyelid because I want to bring the contour down once I blend it out. So now I'm going to go in with my Sephora Pro Contour Brush. This is number 74. It's just a fluffy brush, and I'm going to start contouring. So the first thing I'm doing is just going back and forth. I'm not moving the brush in circular motions. I'm not moving it from the place that it is in. It's literally like on a road, and I'm going back and forth on the road on this line, and I'm not changing the shape. Now once it's contoured out, then I can start going in and circling it to make it look a lot more natural. If you feel like your contours come too far, or you feel like, oh, it looks too muddy, don't worry, we can fix that after. Just make sure that it's really nicely blended, and then we can go in and fix it later. Before I continue, I am going to prime my lips with my Jack Black lip balm, and the reason I'm using this lip balm is because it has SPF 25 in it, which SPF is a must in the summer. If you are getting one thing out of this tutorial, I hope it's the fact that you need SPF. So if you feel like you need to go back in and clean up your contour, all you do is go back in with that translucent powder that you used before and the same brush, and I'm just going to bring it along the contour, just underneath it, just to clean up that area. Usually for brows, I like to fill in my brows whenever I'm doing a tutorial with the Sephora Brow Wiz pencil in the color Midnight Chestnut. Now I don't want to do that because I want to keep my skin very dewy and effortless and just very as natural as possible. All I did was I combed them really quickly with Mint Brush number 36. This is just their brow brush, and I got my brows exactly the way I wanted them. Now these are my natural brows. I haven't filled them in or anything like that. And then I'm going to go in with the Benefit Give Me Brow. This is one of my favorite products for the summertime because it's so effortless. It's giving your eyebrows that little bit of extra help that they need, but it's not too much work, and it's not a powder once again, so it's going to be very beneficial for the summertime. I'm following the natural shape of my brows, and right now I'm actually trying to grow my brows back to the really thick shape that they were. So one of the reasons I love using this product as well is because it has fibers in the product, so it gives you that look of thicker brows without having to do too much work. Like, I love untidy brows in the summer. I think it looks very effortless and just very boho, so that's what I want. That's the look I'm going for today. Just very undone natural brows, and as you can see, it looks a lot thicker just by using this product. So I'm going to let that set for a bit before I go in and give it one final comb through. Okay, so now I'm going to bronze up my skin. As you can see, you don't even need to go in with bronzer because all of the products I used gave me this really dewy, bronzy look already. But I want to look a little more bronze, so I'm going in with one of my favorite blushes slash bronzing powders for the summertime, which is MAC Format Blush. And I'm going to be very messy with this, not applying a lot of product, but just hitting the perimeters of my face. Looks very tan and glowy. To finish up the look really quickly, I am going to go in with a bit of highlighter because you can never look too highlighted and too glowy in the summertime. So I'm going to go in with a powder highlighter just to intensify the highlight a little bit. And the great thing about us putting that base down first is that even if the powder highlight fades, or if it wipes off, or if our sweat wipes it off, that liquid highlighter that we applied is going to still be on our skin, and it's going to make all of our makeup just last so much long. Every time you put a base of liquid or cream first and then put powders on top, it just makes your makeup last so much longer. So that's a great tip also as well if you're spending a lot of time in the sun this summer. Did I say sun? I meant sun. So anyways, I'm going in on this fluffy brush. This used to be a blending brush for me, but I love it for highlighting. And I'm just going to take a little bit on my cheekbones, underneath my brow bone. I'm going to take some down the bridge of my nose, on my cupid's bow, and then a little on my chin. Whatever's left on the brush. If you have texture on your skin, like if you have a pimple or some type of bumps, you don't want to apply a highlighter there. If you do, it's going to bring attention to that textured area. So if you have like a pimple here, just try to go around it rather than on top of it. I'm going to add a little bit of blush, and I'm going in with this Smashbox Cream Cheek Duo, and this is in the color Blushing right here and Peony right here. So I'm going to take Blushing first on this regular stipple brush. This is the small stipple brush from e.l.f. And I'm just going to dab some on my cheeks. Blend it out. It just looks a lot more natural when you blend cream products onto your skin. You could use your finger for this if you wanted. Just hit the apples of your cheeks. I'm like sweating balls in here. Our AC is not working, guys. And if you know how hot it is in Toronto, you would feel so bad for me. It's like over 30 degrees Celsius. And I'm literally sweating, so I think a lot of this do right now is the fact that I'm sweating. And I'm like just dying. The guy is supposed to come look at our AC tomorrow, so I'm praying to Jesus that our AC will get fixed because it is so hot in here. I wake up and I'm like in my sweat, like literally just my hair is stuck to my neck and I'm just sweating like disgustingly. Ugh. I'm just going to take a regular brush. This has no product on it. And I'm just going to kind of blend that out. I'm going to comb through my brows now that the product has dried. So just to add a little bit of dimension to the eye area, I'm going to go in with the eyeshadow. This has become my new favorite eyeshadow. I can't stop using this and I can't put this down. It's just, I'm like addicted to it. This is Sienna from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm going to pick it up on my MAC 217 brush, which you guys have heard me talk about this in my MAC haul, how I feel about the price of this brush. But I'm literally just going to pick it up and work it into my crease just to add some definition and some warmth. I think this goes really well with the MAC format blush that we used, so that's why I'm using it in my eye area. But you could even use MAC format blush if you wanted to. Oh my god, it's so hot. I'm gonna die. It's so hot. Okay, I think I need to go sit in front of the fan after I finish this eyeshadow. You totally don't have to do this next step that I'm doing. Like, I don't even do this on the regular. I guess I'm just getting like excited because I'm on camera, so I decided that I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna take the color Fawn. This is also from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm gonna pick that up on just a regular shader brush, and I'm just going to place that on my eyelids. It's like the perfect nude for me, so I don't even know why I'm doing this because it really doesn't add much, but you know, I'm extra like that. I'm gonna apply lashes. I'm going in with these lashes right here. They're very just simple lashes. These are the Red Cherry number 43s. These are my go-to lashes. These are the lashes I wear for any look that I don't know what lashes I want to wear. These are the lashes I wear. They look so natural, but they're still so beautiful and make a statement on its own that you're like, wow, these are gorgeous. I'm gonna curl my lashes. I did see in the comment section of my last video that I believe Natasha, you requested that I do a video on how to apply false lashes, so that will be coming up very, very soon. Okay, so I just put on my lashes and I applied mascara to my bottom lashes. That's why you see all those marks underneath my lower lash line. I'll go in with a Q-tip and clean that up in a bit, but I want to add my lips now. So I just got these 3 lip polishes from MAC in my MAC haul. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it down below, and I have been loving them for the summertime because they're so easy to use, and on top of that, it's just really quick, put them on, go, and they just add this really beautiful glossy finish to your lips. So to make sure that they last all day long and that I have some kind of color on my lip, I'm gonna go in with a liner first. I'm gonna go in with the liner Whirl. This is also from MAC. And then I'm gonna go into the color It's Really Me and place that on top. Love this combination together. Mwah. So this is my completed video. This is my foundation routine / my summer go-to look. It is very highlighty, very bronzy, very glowy, and you are gonna be the center of attention. Even the sun is not gonna be in comparison to you. Just imagine. Oh my god. I hope you you guys really enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions or comments or anything that you want to tell me, leave them in the comment section down below. I love interacting with you guys, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I definitely want to do something that I thought you guys could use some tips from this video just in your makeup application during the summertime. I hope you guys have a beautiful, fabulous day. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Don't ever forget you are so beautiful. Bye guys.